Okay, you guys, so here we are back at our demo for assignment number 2, which is focus and depth of field. Okay, so I've got my 3 objects. I used dry erase markers because I had them right in front of me and it was an easy thing to put on the table. Notice I have light coming in from the side. So I've put them on a table kind of near a window. So we have a window back over here, so we have some light coming in from the side of the objects to make it easy. You can do this outdoors. I'm fine with outdoors. Outdoors might be better for you for natural light, whether it's in shade or full sun. So I'm going to turn my camera on. I've set my aperture to my largest aperture, which on this lens is 1.7, f1.7, okay? And I'm fairly close to my little objects here. Notice that I'm really close in, and it's gonna be hard for me to focus up on this first one. I might even have to back off slightly. But notice where my camera's at. It's down here on the level with the pieces I'm doing, and that's gonna help you to keep your camera steady. So I focused on my first object and I'm going to click, boom, I got my first one done. Okay, I'm going to set my camera down. Now I'm going to focus on the second one. So notice I'm looking here. I would normally look through the viewfinder, but this is down a little low for me to get to. So I'm going to do it this way. And I can see that I've focused on my second object. Whoops. So I'm going to click on that one. I got a photo there. And now I'm going to focus on my final object, which is way back in the back, right there. And it looks like it's in focus. Boom. I got my 3 photographs where each of these individually is in focus at a time. All right. Now I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to change my aperture to f16, which is my smallest aperture on this particular camera. And because I did that, now I'm going to have to change my shutter speed because all of a sudden it got dark. I let all the light out. So for me, on this time, I'm going to actually have to go to 1/15, 1/15 of a second, because there's just not enough light in here with that small aperture. So we're gonna see if we can get all 3 in focus. And for this one, I am gonna look through, but notice that I've backed up a little bit, right? Because that's one of the things I wanna do for this, is I wanna back off so I'm able to let my aperture do its work and get all 3 in sharp focus. Boom, I'm done. All right, that's my 4 photographs with my fully manual camera, okay? Even though it's a digital SLR. Now I'm gonna put that to the side and I'm gonna talk just for a second about what to do if you have a digital point and shoot camera. All right, so I have my little tiny one here. So I'm gonna do the same thing with this one, right? Turn it on. And then I'm looking, this one does not have a viewfinder, so I have to look at the screen. So I press halfway down on the shutter release button until this first one's in focus. Then I move it over slightly so I get all 3 in the frame and I can see all 3 in there. Then I take the photo, right? Then I do the same thing for the second one. I move it so I can get that second one. I press halfway down on the shutter. And then I move back just a little bit so I get all 3 in there, then I take the photo, okay? Then the third one, I wanna make sure that I can see that halfway down on the shutter, so it's in focus. Then I slide my camera over, right, just a little bit so that I can get all 3 in the frame. There we go, and then I hit the shutter release button all the way. So you have to keep your finger halfway down to keep that focus on each one individually, but you may have to move your camera back and forth like this. Do not do it like this, okay? You don't wanna go back and forth like this because then your focus is gonna change, right? So you wanna halfway down, get them like that, and then move over just a little bit. Remember, you're gonna set your camera on the flower icon, which is macro, okay? You're gonna get as close as you possibly can, right? Even if the whole thing's not in the frame, you wanna get some of it in there. Then for the fourth one, you're gonna take your settings and you're gonna take it off macro, which is that little thing, and put it either on portrait or I would recommend landscape. You're gonna back off, make sure you're not zooming in, okay? And also I do recommend if you have a zoom on your point and shoot camera, use it for the first three, but don't use it for the fourth one. Then you're just gonna back off and all three are in focus and take your picture. And you've got your 4 photographs, right? It's easier than you think. So just bear with me, try it, practice it, and that'll be your assignment number 2 will be done with 4 images talking about the, practicing with the aperture and the depth of field. See you in class.